Hello and welcome to our live stream and very happy Friday. It's so nice that it is Friday and also it is Kalevala Day. So that's why we have all these Kalevala things here. So I will be doing this Kalevala inspired puzzle today, 500 pieces. It's this image is made by Mauri Kunnas and it is taken from this book, The Canine Kalevala. So it is somewhere. Oh yeah, here it is.
In all its glory.
Yeah, big version. So and this will be quite tricky. I have done this once before, 1 year ago, and then this took me 2 hours and 7 minutes. So I really hope I can do it a little bit faster today. And while I am doing this puzzle, Jan is going to read to you the story that leads to this scene. So here we have an illustrated Kalevala, myths and legends from Finland. It is, hello Kura, welcome. This is very nicely retold by Kirsti Mäkinen and illustrated by Pirkka-Liisa Sorojegin. And it has very gorgeous illustrations throughout. I really adore this book. In Finnish. I haven't read this whole thing in English. But yeah, here we will, or Jan will read something. Hello Jan, welcome. And then here is the, not original, but yeah, translated into English. So this is
in verse.
Yeah, in verse. This is like in just common language or something. And yeah, this is written like poem. But I am very, very enthusiastic Kalevala person myself. And the thing why I love Kalevala and this style of poetry so much is that they are actually songs. It's music. These are songbooks. So these poems were originally sung from generation to generation. And
I shall not sing them. You are spared from that.
Yeah, you don't have to. And yeah, that's why people remembered those stories, because they were in certain meter and a song. So I guess the lyrics are easier to remember then. Hello, Katharinda. Welcome.
They are ancient earworms.
Yes, ancient earworms. And I heard that it was quite often so that one person had maybe only one melody that they had learned from their parents, for example.
That sounds like something I could manage. Like, I'll do this one.
Yeah, yeah. You only needed one melody, and with that melody, you were able to sing every song of your life. Like, you can cradle your baby to sleep, and also
Put a spell on your enemy.
Yeah, that too. Wish good fortune for wedding pair and all things. Song out your sadness and also tell stories. So I think that's really fascinating that you kind of had the melody of your family.
That's well said.
Yeah, and the thing is, the bestest thing about yeah, but you can use any melody with any poem And also you can put any poem into any melody. So it's just no boundaries, no limits. You can do whatever you want.
Well, as long as it's in trochaic tetrameter.
Well, there are also exceptions. And also, you can yourself, you can make melody to these poems, even though I don't think you can actually sing these to those traditional melodies, because this is a little bit different. But
sacrifices had to be made.
Yeah. Yeah. But in theory, in Finnish, you can make your own melodies. You can sing the whole Kalevala with your own melody.
As a breakfast.
Yeah. And it has been done. There have been people that have sung the whole Kalevala from beginning to the end. I don't remember anymore how long it took, but more than one day. Yeah.
Those last verses must have been a joy to hear.
They changed their lead singers, but
oh, that's cheating.
Yeah. And you can also put your own lyrics into those ancient melodies. I think it's so cool. So cool. But yeah, I was thinking if I would play some kantele today, but maybe not. Maybe next time. Maybe next year.
I was thinking that you should whip out your gun.
Yeah. Yeah, not
and
now.
Play Paranoid.
No.
Blim, 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 blim.
Yeah. But I think we will start. And Jan will actually read introduction from this book, so that you will hear what is Kalevala. These are some really nice illustrations. And then he will start this story, and he will also switch to this poetry version at some points.
You've made this very complicated for me.
Yeah.
I'm a stupid animal.
No, I believe in you.
That is a mistake. There's a squirrel.
Yes, there's a squirrel. Is Lisa here? I want to show you a squirrel. There is the squirrel.
It's the brown blob.
Yeah, it's this one here. Really tiny. But yes.
Oh. Do we have room for puzzling too?
I hope so. Can you use the
Kair.
chair? So I will try to do this in under 2 hours. All right. You can start.
Can I?
Yes.
But will I?
Well, that's the question.
I shall dope myself. Ah, it didn't start good. I poked myself in the eye.
Oh no.
Last few streams have been exercising in trying to destroy my throat.
Sorry.
Sorry, but not sorry. So I'm reading the about and the prologue.
Yeah. Lovely poem there.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
Usual clumsiness.
Me too. So, about the Kalevala. The Kalevala is one of the most famous works of epic poetry in the world. It's actually weird seeing the word epic used in its actual context. Just not epic.
Yeah, it's cool.
Gathering together myths, legends and stories from all over Finland. It played a crucial role in encouraging pride in Finnish culture and language. Finland had been part of Sweden since the 1300s, and in 1809 it became a Grand Duchy of Russia. During these periods of foreign rule, the official language was Swedish. The Finnish language was seen as less important and mainly used by peasants. The Kalevala's publication inspired a sense of unity among Finnish-speaking peoples and contributed to a surge of nationalism that resulted in Finland declaring independence in 1917. The Kalevala has now been translated into more than 50 languages and is celebrated as the country's national epic. 50 languages, I didn't know that. I thought a few. For a work with such huge impact, it is perhaps surprising that the Kalevala as we know it today did not come into being until 1835. From the 1820s, Finnish doctor, linguist and poetry enthusiast Elias Lönnrot collected thousands of folk poems from oral tradition, including many variations of each, from different areas of Finland. Lönnrot combined and edited the numerous versions of individual poems, while respecting the 1,000-year-old poetic meter, now known as Kalevala meter, which was a kind of trochaic tetrameter.
That explains a lot.
Yes, as a clarification.
Vaka vanha Väinämöinen.
It has 8 beats and 4 trochees to a line. His work also made use of poetic devices such as alliteration and repetition. He even invented new characters and events to create a cohesive epic. Lönnrot called his work the Kalevala after the mythical hero Kaleva, whose clan, the people of Kaleva, spread across what is now known as Finland. The first edition of Lönnrot's Kalevala was received with excitement, now known as the Old Kalevala. It was shorter than the work we now know today. For example, the runes from runo or poem dealing with the ill-fated hero Kullervo's fate were not included until 1849, and Lönnrot published a more extensive version. In 1862, Lönnrot designed a shorter Kalevala for use in schools. However, the 1849 version is the best known, and the one on which this edition's retellings are based. The effect that Lönnrot's efforts had on Finnish culture is significant, captivating the imagination of visual artists, composers and writers both in Finland and around the world. Well-known examples include the compositions of Jean Sibelius and the works of J.R. Tolkien, who was great admirer of Kalevala. Today the Kalevala is a cornerstone of Finnish culture. Kalevala Day, also known as Finnish Culture Day, which is today.
Today, woohoo!
Is celebrated on 28th of February, the anniversary of the first publication. I lost my place. There. Many Finnish proper names and place names, as well as expressions and idioms, originate from Kalevala, and its runes are a treasure trove for folklore researchers.
Yes.
Kalev, yes. The original Kalevala was written in verse, but this edition retells the myths in accessible prose. Illustrations by Pirkko-Liisa Surojeekin beautifully capture the spirit of the epic.
That's true.
And now I will read the prologue in verse.
The first starting poem of Kalevala.
Yes. Mastered by desire impulsive, by a mighty inward urging, I am ready now for singing, ready to begin the chanting of our nation's ancient folk song, handed down from bygone ages. In my mouth the words are melting, from my lips the tones are gliding, from my tongue they wish to hasten, when my willing teeth are parted. When my ready mouth is opened, songs of ancient wit and wisdom hasten from me not unwilling. Golden friend and dearest brother, brother dear of mine in childhood, come and sing with me the stories, come and chant with me the legends, legends of times forgotten, since we now are here together, come together from our roamings.
I don't remember what I was going to say about that. Oh well, maybe nothing. Let's see.
Apparently nothing.
But yeah, I may not do the whole edge because I don't think I have all the edge pieces.
Ah. Are they missing?
No, I just haven't.
In
found-
shambles.
Yeah.
I would love to read this, the creation of the world thing.
Yeah, it's really lovely. We might if we have time in the end.
Okay. Those creation myths are always so weird.
Yes, they are.
Mm.
Oh, I think I was going to say something like I really love the imagination of those stories or something. I don't know. Just start.
So this is a theft of Sampo.
Mhm.
Story. Part of Kalevala. Louhi, the mistress of Pohjola, was reaping the rewards of the incredible Sampo. With its magical mills it produced as much salt, flour and gold as she wished. But Louhi had not created the Sampo herself. Ilmarinen had forged it at her request. To whom did the Sampo really belong? Did it belong to the one who made it, or to the one who had wanted it made?
I think that's a quite silly question. Louhi also paid for that Sampo.
Yeah.
Well, not really paid. She gave her daughter to the maker of Sampo.
Well, that's kind of currency.
Yeah. Yeah. But then that maiden died. So I guess they kind of think that well,
Well, the deal is off.
yeah. I guess.
Where's my wife? God damn it. Where's my wife, woman? I almost thought it was the same. I'm not suggesting that Rowling has read Kalevala, but there's this thing in Harry Potter that goblins, when they sell something, that it's only for the lifetime of the one who they sell it to. So it goes back to the goblins, but humans didn't agree, and it was a thing in some lore.
Okay.
Just reminded me of it.
Cool.
But it wasn't that, it was that the currency died.
Yeah.
The ancient shaman Väinämöinen could not stop thinking about the Sampo. It is giving the people of Pohjola eternal happiness, Väinämöinen fretted. Why them and not us, the people of Kalevala? Our smith Ilmarinen was the one who made it, so the Sampo really belongs to us. We must bring it here. Sound reasoning.
Yeah.
I love these folk stories that those kind of demigods and god figures are always so jealous and selfish.
Yes. Yeah. Otherwise, nothing would happen.
Yeah, true. Ilmarin agreed. Well, of course. Of course he did. It would be a distraction from the death of his wife, who he still missed terribly. He hammered a fiery new sword for Väinämöinen and equipped himself with a steel belt and an iron shirt. Väinämöinen and Ilmarinen rode towards Pohjola, but as they were passing the seashore they heard wailing. When they went to see what was making the noise, they found an enchanted ship, which was lamenting that it had never been put to sea.
Aww.
They left their horses and boarded the ship instead, because it would get them to Pohjola faster than riding. Väinämöinen stood at the helm and used his magic to sing the ship full of young heroes and adventurous maidens who took turns to row.
That's so cool. I
That's
need
equality.
some...
They all were rowing.
Yeah, true. I need some people here to...
Yeah. Fair maiden, row, goddammit. The splash of oars could be heard from miles away as the ship raced over the waves. On a headland, the reckless warrior Lemminkäinen was busy hammering together the timbers of a boat, but he looked up to see where the noise was coming from. He spotted Väinämöinen and Ilmarinen's wonderful ship. "Where are you going?" he shouted. The ship came towards him and Väinämöinen explained that they were going to Pohjola to seize the Sampo. "No, I want to come," Lemminkäinen cried, because he was seeking vengeance upon the people of Pohjola for destroying his home. "Do not go to Pohjola without me." He jumped aboard and took the timbers of the boat he had been building with him, in case they proved useful. As the ship journeyed closer to Pohjola, Väinämöinen sang for the pleasure of all those aboard. When they passed by land, women wondered at the joyful noise. "What is the song upon the waters?" they asked. Yet it was not long before the ship encountered misfortune. First they came upon a stretch of magical water on which flames blazed,
Wow.
threatening to burn the ship. Lemminkäinen chanted magical words to put out the fires, and Väinämöinen skillfully steered the ship past the danger.
That was so surprising that Lemminkäinen actually can do some kind of magic himself.
Well, didn't they have a contest about it?
I think it was...
Cooler.
Yes.
They reached open seas again, but suddenly the boat ran aground and on something hidden under the water. Lemminkäinen peered over the bow. "It is not a rock, and it is not a reef," he said, surprised. "Our ship is resting upon the back and shoulders of an enormous pike, a true monster of the deep." "Cut it to pieces," commanded Väinämöinen. Lemminkäinen drew his sword and slashed it with all his might, but instead of striking the fish, he fell overboard.
That was quite a fail.
Yes. Ilmarinen pulled off Lemminkäinen back into the boat by his hair. "A poor effort," Ilmarinen scoffed. He drew his own sword and hacked at the fish, but the mighty sword broke into pieces on the back of the giant pike. "The two of you together do not make even half a man," Väinämöinen shouted. And he pulled out his sword. He thrust the blade into giant pike's shoulders and was pulling it out of the water when suddenly the fish split in half.
Whoops.
The tail end sank to the bottom of the ocean and the boat could move again. Väinämöinen had landed a very strange catch, the head of a giant pike. They steered the boat to shore and everybody gathered around, staring in amazement at the fish. This is the first fish tail.
Yeah.
Väinämöinen was the first. I got a fish this big.
Yeah.
They cooked a tasty chowder, but the gigantic fish bones were left over. Väinämöinen inspected them thoughtfully, and now there's a thing that I must read the worst thing. I've been instructed with things. Yes.
Because I like the worst thing too. It's difficult when you want to have everything.
Yes, it ends up with sticky notes. So the story continues in verse. Steady old Väinämöinen put this into words, but surely these could become a kantele of fish bones. Were there someone who knew how, who could make an instrument of bones? When no one else came forward, and there was none who knew how, who could make an instrument of bones, steady old Väinämöinen made of himself a maker, took the shape of a shaper. He made an instrument of pike bones, produced a joy forever. What was the kantele's belly from? It was from the big pike's jawbone. What the kantele's pegs from? They were made from the pike's teeth. What the kantele's strings from? From the hairs of the demon's gelding. Now the instrument was made, and ready the kantele. The great pike-bone instrument, the and we are offline.
We are offline? Oh no! Oh no.
I will wait. We are back. And we should be back.
Yay!
That was the power of Väinämöinen. He sang the internet to stall.
I'm trying to do these feathers, but maybe this is a bit strange place to start with.
Oh yes, I will continue.
Yay!
Only that I forgot where I were. Steady old Väinämöinen told a young one, told an old one, told one too of middle age, to play with their fingers that sounding thing of bones, the kantele of fish bones. The young played and the old played, the middle-aged played. The young played, their fingers sagged, the old tried, their heads trembled. But joy did not rise to joy, nor instrument to music. Wanton Lemminkäinen said, "O you half-witted sons, you silly daughters too, and other mean folk. Among you there's no player, no one who rightly knows how. Bring the instrument to me and carry the kantele to 2 upright kneecaps, to the tips of 10 fingernails." Then wanton Lemminkäinen took the kantele in hand, the joy closer to himself. The instrument beneath his fingers, he tunes the instrument, turns the kantele round. But the instrument won't play, the joy won't rejoice at all. The old Väinämöinen said, "There's not among these youngsters, among the people growing, nor among the old, any player of this instrument, one to make this joy rejoice. Might Northland better play this instrument, make this joy rejoice, if I sent it to Northland?" He sent it to Northland. To Sariola had it brought. The boys in Northland played it, both lads and lassies played it, and the men with wives played it, the women with husbands too. The mistress herself played it, turned it and tried it. She put her fingers to it, plucked it with 10 fingernails. The boys in Northland played, all sorts of people played, but the joy did not sound like joy, nor the music like music. The strings went awry, the hairs twangled badly, the sound rang out wrong, the instrument hoarsely hummed. A blind man slept in a nook, an old man on a stovetop. The old man on the stove woke, at the hearth started, growled from the sleep place, snarled from his corner. Sleep place. Have done and leave off. Give over, stop it. It is blowing through my ears, it is going through my head, making all my hairs stand up, robbing me hours of sleep. If the Finnish folks' music will not move to joy, or wear down to sleep, persuade to slumber, then chuck it in the water, and sink it in billows, or else take it back. Have the instrument brought there, to the hands of him who shaped its tuner's fingers. The instrument finds its tongue, the kantele struck up words. I'll not hit the water yet, nor dwell below the bellows. I'll play first with a player, whine with the one who's taken pains. So it was carried with care, borne beautifully to the hand of its maker, the knees of him who fetched it. The Pikebone Kantele. Steady old Väinämöinen, the everlasting singer, prepares his fingers, rubs his thumbs ready. He sits on the rock of joy, on the song boulder settles, on the silver hill, on the golden knoll. He fingered the instrument, turned the curved thing on his knees, the kantele in his hands. He uttered a word, spoke thus, "Now let him come and listen, who may not before save heard the joy of eternal bards, the sound of the kantele." At that old Väinämöinen began to play prettily, prettily.
Yay!
The sounding thing of pike bones, the kantele of fish bones. His fingers rose nimbly, his thumb lifted lightly. Now joy waxed joyful, delight echoed like delight, music sounded like music. Song had the effect of song, the pike's tooth tinkled. The fish-tailed poured forth, the stallion's hairs called, the hairs of the steed rang out, as old Väinämöinen played.
Yay!
There was none in the forest running on 4 legs or hopping on foot that did not come to listen, marvel at the merriment. The squirrels reached from leafy twig to leafy twig, and the stoats turned up, sat down on fences. The elk skipped upon the heaths, and the lynxes made merry. The wolf too woke on a swamp, and the bear rose on the heath. From a den of pine, from a spruce thicket, the wolf rang long distances. The bear ranged over the heaths, sat down at last on a fence, and fling themselves at a gate. The fence fell upon the rock. The gate toppled in the glade. Then they scrambled up a spruce. They swung up a pine, to listen to the music, marvel at the merriment. Tapiola's careful lord, Forestland's master himself, and all Tapio's people, both lassies and lads, climbed a mountain peak to take note of the music. The forest's mistress herself, Tapiola's careful wife, dressed up in blue stockings, puts on red laces, squatted in a bird's crook, perched on an alder's warp. I have not heard such before, ever in this world, as Väinämöinen's music, as the eternal bard's joy. The Scop daughter's sisters, the shore's reedy sisters-in-law, were smoothing their hair, brushing their tresses, with a brush of silver tip, with a comb of gold. They got to hear the strange sound and that fine music. The comb slid in the water, the brush vanished in the wave, and the hair was left unsmooth, the locks half undone. The water's mistress herself, the water's reed-breasted dame, now rises out of the sea, jerks herself out of the wave. At the reedy edge she reared. She turns upward on a reef to hear that sound, the music of Väinämöinen. For it was wondrous sound, and the music very fine, and there she fell asleep. She sank down on her belly, on the back of a bright rock, the side of a thick boulder. Then old Väinämöinen played for one day, played for a two. There was no fellow nor any brave man. There was no man nor wife nor one wore her hair in braids, who did not fall to weeping, whose heart did not melt. The young wept, and the old wept, and the unmarried men wept, and the married fellows wept. The half-grown boys wept. Both boys and maidens, and the little wenches too, for it was wondrous sound, and the old man's music sweet. Even from Väinämöinen a tear tumbled down. The trickles dipped from his eyes, the water drops rolled bigger round than cranberries, and thicker than peas, rounder than grouse eggs.
We are what?
Offline.
Oh no. Oh no. Mendel.
Through 5 woolen cloaks, through his 6 gold belts, 7 blue waistcoats, 8 homespun caftans, the water drops rolled down from old Väinämöinen. To the shore of the blue sea, from the shore of the blue sea, down below the clear waters, upon the black mud. Then the old Väinämöinen put this into words. Is there among these youngsters so fair, among this great kin, these of grand background, one to gather up my tears from below the clear waters? The young there speak thus, and the old answer, there's not among these youngsters so fair, among this great kin, these of grand background, one to gather up your tears from below these clear waters. The old Väinämöinen said, he spoke thus, whoever brought back my tears, gather up the water drops from below the clear waters, would get from me a coat of feathers. Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
A raven came flapping up, and old Väinämöinen said, Raven, fetch my tears from below the clear waters, and I'll give you a coat of feathers. But the raven got nothing. A blue scop heard that, so the blue scop came, and old Väinämöinen said, Blue scop, you often dive down with your beak and cool off in the water. So go, gather up my tears from below the clear waters. You will get the best wagers. I will give you a coat of feathers. The scop went to gather up Väinämöinen's tears from below the clear waters from the top of the black mud, gathered the tears from the sea, carried them to Väinö's hand. They had changed to other things, had grown to things that are fair. Into beads they had swollen, into pearls they had ripened, to the delights of kings and rulers, joys forever. And apparently I have to continue the other book.
It's so weird that he made all those people to play that kantele. And
I'll see you if you can do that. I bet you can.
Because I'm doing very, very lousy progress with this. Like, it feels that,
Even if I'm seeing spells.
yeah. But yeah, that's one of my favorite parts in Kalevala, to hear how lovely the kantele sounded. Because I play kantele myself, so of course.
But you can't play it.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Not like that. Maybe someday.
When it just comes and rematerializes in front of you. Not to encourage, but to say, you can't play that.
Yeah, give it to
Only I can.
Yeah, exactly.
What? This is not even made out of a pike.
Yep.
And this tells me to continue reading. This just confirms that I have turned into an audiobook.
Yes, you have. How do you like it?
How do you like Kalevala?
How do you like being an audiobook?
Well, it's hard work but honest work.
Yeah. It is very honored.
So, after this whole pike debacle,
Kantele playing and cheer dropping.
yes, and the one bird that could fetch it I didn't quite know how to pronounce. What is it in Finnish?
What?
The bird that actually got those.
Got the cheers. What was it? Blue scope. I don't know. I really don't.
I just said scope.
Yeah. Yeah, could be.
The three heroes got back on their ship and continued towards golden dark Pohjola to plunder the Sampo from Louhi. Ilmarinen and Lemminkäinen commanded the rowers, and Väinämöinen steered until at last they saw a landing place for boats in a cove. After they pushed their ships ashore, they stormed into Louhi's house. "What do you want?" asked the mistress of Pohjola, taken aback. "What brings you here now?" "We have come to divide the Sampo, so that the people of Kalevala might share its riches," Väinämöinen replied. Louhi froze. "Could a grouse or a squirrel be divided?" "Well, if you have a sword, it can."
But I think she meant that, it's so little. There's no use.
She asked. "Neither can the Sampo. I am the rightful keeper of the Sampo, and it will stay here inside the mountain of copper. Go home." But Väinämöinen was not easily deterred. "I swear, if you do not give us half the Sampo, we will take it whole." Louhi was furious and commanded all the swordsmen of Pohjola to kill Väinämöinen. But Väinämöinen had a weapon that was better than a sword. He sat down, pulled out his fishbone kantele and began to play.
Haha!
Such beautiful music had never been heard in Pohjola. The women laughed with delight and the men wept with joy. Before long, the sweet music began to make the folk deliciously sleepy. Their eyes fluttered, and soon all the people of Pohjola had fallen into a deep slumber. So he cast a sleeping spell.
Yeah.
Quietly he put down his kantele and drew magic balm out of his leather pouch. He spread it gently on everyone's eyes, and then locked them shut by pressing on the eyelids. So Väinämöinen invented glue.
That's true. Yeah.
They would sleep for a long time. Väinämöinen chuckled. His plan had succeeded, and now quickly to find the Sampo. Hello, Baz.
Hello, Baz. Welcome.
I've had a lot of practice of pronouncing the last couple of years.
Yeah.
The Sampo was inside a copper mountain, secure behind 9 locks, and only Väinämöinen's powers could break them.
A side note. This here is sambo that I'm doing right now, but you cannot really see. I try to do this again. Ah, sorry. Sorry. Oops.
That was smooth.
Very. Okay.
So it's a mechanical thing that spouts out riches.
Yeah, like salt and
Flour and gold.
yeah, such things.
And it's interesting that it's not 3 or 7 looks. It's 9.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Usually in these it's 3 or 7. But it's not originally a Western or Christian story. So.
True.
The ancient shaman sang magic words and the copper mountain shook and iron pillars trembled. With his blacksmith skills, Ilmarinen greased the door hinges and 9 locks, so they would not creak. So he sang them into deep sleep with magic words, but they can't hear creaking. That will surely wake them up. Slowly and carefully he opened the locks, one after another. Once they were inside, they faced the problem of how to pull this up. Now I have a hiccups.
Oh no. No.
Sampo 3. It had been embedded in the earth, 9 fathoms deep. Lemminkäinen bragged, "I'll just knock it with my heel and it'll come free." But the Sampo did not budge, even when Lemminkäinen got down on his knees, put his arms around it and pulled with all his might. Finally, with help from the giant ox of Pohjola. Where did that come from?
Good question.
Yes. Just hanging around. The heroes managed to pull the Sampo loose. They quickly carried the Sampo back to their boat and pushed the vessel under the water. They pointed the bow towards home and got the oars moving. To Kalevala! Triumphantly, Väinämöinen called upon Ahti, master of the sea, to help them. "Grant us easy passage through your waters, Ahti. Guide us home over the foam and white-capped waves." The rowers worked as hard as they could, and soon the ship reached the open sea. Then Lemminkäinen had an idea. "Let us sing, Väinämöinen, to rejoice in our victory." "No singing yet," Väinämöinen said firmly. "The rowers will get lazy, and the boat will slow down. The night will soon be upon us." He was worried that the people of Pohjola might have woken up and come after them. They journeyed on peacefully for 2 days, but on the 3rd day, Lemminkäinen again tried to coax Väinämöinen to sing. "Come on, we have the Sampo. We deserve a song." But Väinämöinen only said, "We can celebrate when we see the doors of our houses." Yet Lemminkäinen began to yowl in his terrible singing voice.
Oh no.
His mouth moved. His beard trembled. It's a fine image. Trembling beard. And his jaws clacked. And the sound he made was more like roaring than singing. The wind carried Lemminkäinen's voice far across the ocean.
How lovely.
A crane was frightened by the terrible noise and flew screeching over Pohjola. At last, Louhi and her people awoke.
Oh no!
That's what bad singing can do.
Yeah.
It can wake the evil witch from the north.
Ay.
Well, I guess she isn't actually evil, just the antagonist.
Yeah.
As a kid, I always thought she was evil for some reason. Because you're simple and that someone's against your hero, so they're evil.
Yeah. But, well, she just wanted her own things.
Yeah. But there is an argument there. The wife died.
Yeah.
There must be a grace period.
Yeah.
If you buy a car and it breaks down the next day, there's some responsibility. I'm the one who sold it to you.
Yep.
In a panic, Louhi checked that all her wealth was safe. Her herds were in their pastures and her treasures in her storehouse. But when she ran to the copper mountain, straight away she saw the broken hinges and locks. The Sampo had been stolen. Without the Sampo, Louhi knew her powers would wane. Something had to be done, and quickly, filled with fury, she began to recite incantations to the powers of nature. Ututyttö, made of mist, lay a thick fog on the ocean to make Väinämöinen lose his way, Louhi cried. Ikuturso, monster of the deep, raise your head from the waves and sink the men of Kalevala, but bring the Sampo to me undamaged. Louhi even called upon Ukko, the supreme god, to help her. O you golden king, build up a raging storm, raise the wind and send a huge wave towards Väinämöinen's boat. Do not let him escape from my clutches again, she shouted. Ututyttö breathed a fog upon the sea that stopped Väinämöinen's ship, as though it had run into a wall. For 3 days and 3 nights the boat sat in the middle of the ocean. At last Väinämöinen tried slashing at the ocean with his sword. He attacked the ocean with the sword. It cut through the mist, which slowly began to rise up to the sky. The weather cleared, and the journey of Väinämöinen, Ilmarinen, and Lemminkäinen continued.
Well, I guess they were a bit like, why didn't I try that earlier?
Yes.
We were here for 3 days, and I would have I just had to swing my sword.
Yes. Always try the sword first.
Yeah.
And now I am instructed by a sticky note to continue with the verse. Putting my brain in poetry mode. I'm putting my brain in trochaic tetrameter mode.
Woohoo. That's so cool that you can do it.
I just claim I can.
You're doing great.
A little time passed, a moment sped by, and now a loud roar was heard at the rim of the red boat. Foam rose high against Väinämöinen's craft. Then the smith, Ilmarinen, was truly greatly startled. The blood drained from his face, the red fell from his cheeks, and he pulled a quilt over his head.
No, I guess it didn't say that.
Yeah.
What? He pulled a quilt over his face.
Head.
How wonderful.
Over
he was really afraid.
Over his ears he drew it. Covered his face handsomely. And his eyes that much better. I'm not seeing it.
That's our hero.
Yes. Old Väinämöinen looked aside at the waters, cast his eyes at the craft's side, saw something of a wonder, sea monster, the gaffer's son, at the rim of the red boat, raised his head out of the sea, his scalp from the wave. Steady old Väinämöinen got hold of him by the ears, and by the ears he hoists him. He asked him, he talked, uttered a word and spoke thus, Sea monster, the gaffer's son, why did you rise from the sea? Why come from the billow in front of mankind, let alone Kaleva's son? Sea monster, the gaffer's son, neither is he pleased at that, nor is he very frightened, nor indeed does he answer. Steady old Väinämöinen carefully inquired again. 3 times loudly asks, Sea monster, the gaffer's son, why did we rise from the sea? Why come up from the billow? Sea monster, the gaffer's son, at the 3rd time now, he says a word in answer. For this I rose from the sea, and came up from the billow. I had it in mind to slay Kaleva's kin, to get the Sampa to Northland. But if you will drop me in the waves now, and spare a wrath, I will never come again in front of mankind.
Why are we offline?
It's really
So weird.
and we should be back.
It's been so cooperative lately.
Yes,
And now I guess it just really doesn't like Kalevala.
yes, does not like poetry. Yes,
Our internet doesn't like poetry.
yes.
Oh no. We need another one.
I will try again. Oh. How are you doing?
Not great.
Why not?
Good question.
Why are you doing badly?
I don't know. I'm just so overwhelmed again.
It is legal.
Mm-hmm. Ah, yes, I got few nice pieces here.
Nice pieces.
Yeah.
How are they nice?
Useful pieces.
Nice and fluffy. Then the old Väinämöinen threw the rascal in the way. The sea monster from the deep is called rascal. And he put this into words. Sea monster, the gaffer's son, don't you rise out of the sea, don't come up from the billow in front of mankind from this day forward. And not since that day has the monster risen from the sea in front of mankind. Nor will he rise while there is moon and sun, and the day good and the world is a joy to see. That's a good explanation why no one has seen it. Then the old Väinämöinen eased his ship forward. A little time passed, a moment sped by. Now the old man, the chief god, he, the master of the skies, told the winds to blow, the stormy weather to rage, the winds to rose to blow, the stormy weather to rage. Loudly the west wind blustered, and the northwest wind flared up. More so the south wind, the east whistled wickedly. Dreadfully the southeast roared, the north loudly screamed, and they blew the trees leafless. The conifer trees coneless, the heather flowerless, the grasses huskless, raised black mud on top of the clear waters. Hard then the winds blew, the billows rammed the vessel. They bore the harp of pike bones, the kandele of fish fins, for the wave wives people's good. That's an annoying word pair to say. Wave wife.
Mermaids.
Yes. Ahto's land's joy forever. Ahto noticed on the billows. Ahto's children on the waves. They took the fine instrument, carried it off home. It's Ahto in this English. With an O.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Now we get to the battle at sea.
Ooh, and oh yeah, I guess we can read that. What is it? The making of the world
Yes,
thing.
it would seem so.
Yep.
Evening, Patricia.
Hello, Patricia. Welcome. Yeah. It's been 54 minutes. This is so funny.
That's all faster.
Mm.
Louhi, mistress of Northland, called Northland together. She armed the crowd with their crossbows, equipped the men with their swords. She made ready the North's craft, prepared the war boat, mustered the men in her ship, prepared the warriors as a scaup its young, as a teal musters its chicks. 100 swordsmen, 1,000 fellows with bows. He erected masts, fitted canvas trees, hoisted sails upon the mast, canvas on the trees, like a long cloud bank, a mass of cloud in the sky. And then she cast off. She both went and sped to try and get the sampo out of Väinämöinen's boat. Steady old Väinämöinen is sailing on the blue sea, and he put this into words, spoke from the stern of his craft. Oh, you wanton lover boy! Foremost of my friends, climb to the masthead, scramble up the canvas tree, glance at the weathers ahead. Check the sky astern, to see whether the skyline is clear, whether clear or overcast. That wanton Lemminkäinen, the boy, the full-blooded rogue, quite prompt without being told, quick without being extolled, climbed on the masthead, scrambled up the canvas tree. He looked east, looked west, looked northwest and south, looked across the north shore. Then he put this in the words. All clear the weather ahead, but gloomy the sky astern. There is a small cloud northward, a cloud bank to the northwest. The old Väinämöinen said, Surely you have lied. That's no cloud at all. A cloud bank it cannot be. That's a craft with sails. Look again more careful. He looked again, looked with care, and says with this word, Far off an island heaves into view. Out there it is looming, with aspens full of hawks, birches of speckled capercaillies. I don't know what that is. The old Väinämöinen said, Surely you have lied. Hawks those cannot be, nor speckled capercaillies. They are sons of the north. Look carefully a third time.
But why are they looking if Väinämöinen already saw that? Oh no.
He's being annoying.
Yeah, I guess so.
And trying to teach like that, which is annoying.
Yep.
The wanton Lemminkäinen looked a third time too. He says with his word, he spoke with this speech. Now the North's craft is coming, the 100 rowlocked cleaving. There's 100 men at oars, 1,000 sitting about. That's a big ship.
Very big ship.
Then the old Väinämöinen realized the truth.
He had just been saying, oh yeah, they are the men of the north.
Yeah, they're definitely coming.
Yeah.
Maybe he realized the extent of it.
Maybe.
He uttered a word, spoke thus. Row, you Smith Ilmarinen, row, Phantom Lemminkäinen, row, the lot of you, that the little boat may run, the craft make headway. Row, row, row your boat. The Smith Ilmarinen rowed, wanton Lemminkäinen rowed, and the whole lot of them rowed. The hardwood oars bent, and the rowan rowlock slammed, and the boat of fur shuddered. The prow flung spray as a seal, the stern as rapid roared, and the water boiled in bubbles, and the froth flew up in balls. The fellows wooed in tugging, and the men strove in pulling, but they got nowhere at all. The wooden craft would not flee from before the craft with sails, that boat of Northland. Then the old Väinämöinen felt his ruin coming, his day of trouble catching up. He thinks, considers how to be, which way to live, and he put this into words. I can still think of a dodge, for this I've hit on a trick. He groped.
What?
He groped.
Yeah.
The flint.
Oh, that Tinder.
Yeah, he took out his phone and opened Tinder. Yeah. Are there any fair maidens here? thirsty wenches for me to see. I did a thing.
So cool. Wow.
Into the sea he tosses them, over his left shoulder. He says with this word, he spoke with this speech. Let this become a reef, grow into a hidden island, for the North's craft to run on, the 100 rowlock to split, where the sea storm chafes, where the wave scratches. Then it grew into a reef, it turned into a sea crag, with its longer side eastward and crossways northward. The North's craft came hurtling on through the billow cleaves, and it hit the reef, jammed hard on the crag. The wooden craft flew apart, the 100 ribs smashed. The masts went splat in the sea, and the sails came tumbling down, to be swept off by the wind, driven by the gale. Louhi, mistress of Northland, runs on foot in the water, went to raise the craft, to lift up the ship.
Oh, by the way, now it's happening what's in this image. Pretty much.
Oh.
So here's Louhi, but I don't actually know if we are in that part yet. Maybe not.
Louhi has a dog.
Sorry?
Louhi has a dog.
Yeah.
But the boat will not come up, nor will the craft budge. All its ribs had snapped, all its rowlock splintered too. She thinks, considers, and she put this in the words. What is the best plan? What is to be done? Now she changed her shape, dared to become someone else. She took up 5 scythes, 6 hoes past their prime. She fashioned them into claws, fitted them to be her feet. The shattered part of the craft she put under her. The sides she slapped into wings, the rudder to be her tail. Put 100 men under a wing, 1,000 at her tail tip. The 100 swordsmen, the 1,000 fellows who shot. And she spread her wings to fly, as an eagle lifted off.
Here she is an eagle, but yeah, these are just ordinary feathers and not parts of a ship. Yeah, please continue.
And she flaps along, heading for Väinämöinen. One wing flicked the clouds, and one swerved off the water. The war mother, fair wife, put this in the words. Old Väinämöinen, turn your head from underneath the sun, cast your eyes northwest, look behind you a little. Steady old Väinämöinen turned his head from underneath the sun, cast his eyes northwest, looked behind him a little. Now the North's dame is coming, the wondrous bird glides along. as for shoulders like a hawk, a wyvern as for body. She startles Väinämöinen. She flew on the masthead to the canvas tree rustled. On top of the post she perched, and the craft all but capsized, the ship nearly keeled over. Then the smith Ilmarinen casts himself upon his god, and in his creator trusts. He says with this sword, and then with this word, keep us steadfast, creator, and God as fair God, lest a boy should come away and mother's child should fall, short of the creator's toll, of the span decreed by God. O old man, God known to all, heavenly Father. They weirdly translated this.
Yeah.
It sounds like the Christian God in this.
Yeah. Yeah, but they didn't mean a Christian God.
Yeah. Bring me a fiery fur coat, put me on a blazing shirt, shielded by which I may make war, and behind which may I fight, lest my head should come to grief, and my luck should go to waste, in the sport of bright iron, upon the point of harsh steel. As for old Väinämöinen, he uttered a word, spoke thus, Mistress of Northland. Now will you share the Sampo on the misty headland's tip, at the foggy island's end? The mistress of Northland said, No, I will not share the Sampo with you, mean one, not with Väinämöinen. She tried to get the Sampo out of Väinämöinen's boat. Then wanton Lemminkäinen snatched the sword out of his belt, wrenched the sharp iron from his left side. He lunges at the eagle's feet, and pounds the webbed toes. Wanton Lemminkäinen struck. He both struck and spoke. Down with the men, with the swords, down with the sleepy fellows, 100 from under a wing, dozens from a feather tip. At that the North's dame declared, from the masthead spoke, Oh, you wanton lover boy.
I love that saying.
Poor far-mind, mean man, you deceived your own mother, lied to your parent, said you would not go to war for 6-10 summers, not even for need of gold, even for greed of silver. Steady old Väinämöinen, the everlasting wise man, saw that it was time, knew the moment had come. He drew his paddle from the sea, the oak silver from the wave. With it he bashed the woman, struck the claws of the eagle. The other claws fell to bits, but there was one talon left, and the boys fell from the wings, and the men went splosh in the sea.
Splosh.
Yes, 100 men from under a wing, and 1,000 fellows from the tail. The eagle herself plumped down, clattered upon the rib beams, like a capercaillie from a tree, a squirrel from a spruce bough. Then she reached for the Sampo. With her ring finger, she dropped the Sampo in the water.
Oh no, there it went.
Felled all the bright lit, down over the red craft's side, in the midst of the blue sea. There the Sampo came to bits, and the bright lit to pieces. So some of those bits, those great fragments of the Sampo, went below the quiet waters, down to the black mud. They were left for the water, treasures for Ahto's land's folk. That's why never in this world, not in a month of Sundays, will the water go without, or its Ahto lack treasures. But some other bits, some smaller fragments were left on the blue high seas, on the broad sea's waves, for the wind to lull. The chilly weather, delay your own shoots, the grains you have sown, rain down iron hail, steel hail rattle down upon your own tilth, upon the north's furthest fields, and raise a bear from the heath, from a thicket a fierce cat, from the wilds a hollow hand, and from beneath a sprig a gapped tooth for Northland's furthest lane, for where the North's herd treads. Blah, blah. Then the mistress of Northland uttered a word and spoke thus. Now the power has drained from me, my authority has failed, my property has foundered, the Sampo has smashed in the waves. She set off homeward weeping, northward bewailing her luck. From all the Sampo she got nothing to speak of for home. But she did take a little with her ring finger. She bore the lid to Northland, brought the handle to Sariola. And that's why Northland is poor life. And that's why Northland is poor. Life in Lapland is breadless. Steady old Väinämöinen, when he made landfall, found bits of the deer Sampo and pieces of the bright lid upon the shore of the sea. Upon the fine sands he brought the bits of the deer Sampo, the pieces of...
Huh?
Oh.
Oh. No way.
Yes, and we should be back. Again.
I'm so sorry.
Where was I? Grant that we may be lucky, grant that we may live well always, that we may die with honor, in Finland the sweet, in Karelia the fair. Keep us steadfast Creator, and guard us fair God, from the whims of men, from the wiles of hags. Over the earth envious, defeat the water wizards, be on the side of your sons, always your children's helper, always a support by night and a protector by day. That the sun may not shine ill, that the moon may not gleam ill, the wind may not blow ill, that the rain may not rain ill, nor may the frost bite, nor hard weather touch. Build an iron fence, construct a stronghold of stone, round my property, on both sides of my people, from the ground up to the sky, from the sky down to the ground, for my protection alone, for my support, my refugee, that no foe may eat too much, no enemy steal the wealth, ever in this world, not in a month of Sundays. The end.
The end.
Yes.
Wow.
That's what the sticky note said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Patricia likes the story.
Ah, thank you. That's nice to hear, Patricia. Yeah. I just love the humor in this in these Kalevala stories. Like, I don't know. I just think they are really funny.
Well, they're kind of bumbling around.
So dramatic and then again not.
Yeah.
Maybe
I want gold. Let's get it.
yeah. and the one I really love the most is the use of words. Like I don't understand that English that well. I found it a bit difficult to keep up at some points, but I really enjoy the use of words, how they say things differently in different words. I just think it's genius. How can they do that? And I think they did that because there was one who was singing this story and they needed some time to think. So they...
Yeah, I think that too. Like,
yeah. So,
what's next?
yeah, so they just repeated the thing that they just had said in other words. And I just think, how can they do that so well? I think it's so cool.
It is a quite good of a translation, yes, but
Yeah, I think so.
I was surprised by how good it is.
Yeah.
There's some weird choices, but that's to be expected.
Yeah, those religious sounding things.
The names were sometimes a bit weird, but and then the curse that Ukko, over God, is more akin to Odin.
Oh yeah.
More akin to Odin than
God.
anything else. Yeah. Shall we figure out how the world was made?
I would love to hear it.
Yes. So according to Finns, this is how the world is made.
Yeah.
The creation of the world. In days long ago, at the beginning of time, Ilmatar, the goddess of nature, lived alone in the vast acres of air. Eventually, she grew weary of her lonely life. So, Ilmatar drifted down to the ocean and let the breezes buffet her, and the currents carry her through the foam-flecked waves. Then the sea wind filled her womb, and for 7 centuries, 9 human lifetimes, new life grew inside her. She swam east and west, north and south, and still the unborn child remained inside her.
Just think about that. Being pregnant how many years?
7 centuries.
At this time. Like this moment. Oh my gosh.
You might even see 2 books from George R. R. Martin at that time.
Yeah.
Will I be tossed upon these waves forever? She moaned in agony. It would have been better to live as an airy maiden than as a shivering sea wife among the waves. O Ukko, supreme god, I beg you to release me. No sooner had she finished speaking than Skåp, the sleek duck,
Duck.
happened to fly by, searching for a nesting site. Skåp spied Ilmatar's knee, and thinking it was a small island, built her nest there. Soon the duck began to brood and laid 7 eggs, 6 of gold and 1 of iron. Ilmatar felt her knee burning and her skin scorching. The pain was intense. He shifted and the eggs rolled into the water.
Whoops.
With a crunch they cracked open, and the pieces were hurled up into the heavens, creating earth, sky, sun, moon, and stars, and clouds. Time passed, and Ilmatar floated for 9 more years upon the misty swells of the ocean. When the 10th summer arrived, Ilmatar at last raised her head and began to create the world. With her hands, she shaped peninsulas and coves. Shifting onto her side, she created smooth shores and sandy beaches. Stamping her feet, she formed fishing grounds, teeming with salmon and rocky shoals to trick unwary sailors. Like, this'll trick 'em. 30 years passed, and still Ilmatar's child was imprisoned inside her. His name was Väinämöinen, and he had grown into a man in her womb. He began to recite runes inside his cramped, dark hiding place. Moon, sun, kind great bear, set me free, guide me out to see the moon and gaze upon. Just reached the end of his patience. And again we are having a thing.
Mo, 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 mo.
Oh. And so, at last the great Väinämöinen came into the world, alone as night, alone as day. The sea wind was his father, the goddess of nature his mother. A man of great power and wisdom. Väinämöinen was a shaman, enchanter and rune singer from the day he was born. He plunged headlong into the ocean and floated among the waves for 6 years, until he drifted onto a nameless headland. From there, Väinämöinen climbed onto an island. He dwelt there for years, but to his dismay he found the soil barren. Who could help him to farm these lands? Sampsa Pellervoinen, son of the fields, became his helper, and soon Sampsa sowed the clearings, hills and fields with spruce, pine, birch, aspen, cherry, rowan, willow, juniper and oak. The saplings grew and flourished until the top of one giant oak reached the skies, and its branches stopped the clouds from passing by. When the oak began to block out the sun, Väinämöinen wondered how to chop it down. He pleaded with his mother, Ilmatar, to lend him the ocean's strength to accomplish the task. No sooner had he asked than a figure rose from the sea. On his head was a copper hat, on his feet were copper boots, on his hands were copper gloves. Though he was tiny, only the size of a thumb, he acted like a hero.
Must have been Chihuahua.
Yeah. Quickly he began to grow, and soon his head was reaching for the clouds. When the giant struck his axe into the huge oak, fire sparked from the blade, and the tree crashed heavily to the ground. With his own sharp axe, Väinämöinen felled a whole forest, making a wide clearing for farming. He left only one birch standing. Eagle flew past and settled on a branch. Why did you leave the birch? Eagle wondered. So that you can rest there on your travels, and the cuckoo can delight us with its call, replied Väinämöinen. A fine idea, Eagle cried gratefully. And then the mighty bird rewarded its friend by striking a spark and lighting a great flame.
And burning everything. Oh, thanks so much.
The north wind fanned the fire and burned the fallen trees to ashes. At last Väinämöinen had fertile fields, which to sow barley. I think that's the reference for, because they used to burn fields to make them fertile. Kaskia.
Yeah.
He recited magic spells to bring forth a good harvest and asked Ukko, the supreme god, great creator and ruler of the clouds, to drizzle warm rain upon the seedlings. And he called upon the earth goddess, the old woman of Mannu, with these words. Hello, Inna.
Hello, Inna.
O Earth Mother, make the soil fertile and favor it with your blessings. When the clouds sprinkled rain like nectar on the fields. We are just creating the world.
Yeah.
We just read Battle of Sampo.
Yes. But it was so cool when you said, was it some kind of goddess Mannu and then came Inna?
When the clouds sprinkled rain like nectar on the fields, the barley stalks grew in a frenzy and were laden with grain. Väinämöinen looked around his lands with satisfaction and caught sight of a cuckoo. Sing, sweet-voiced cuckoo, he called. Sing for the prosperity of my lands. And that's how it happened.
Okay.
Cuckoo. Maybe that's one reason when they plow or make new fields, they usually leave a couple of trees there, even this day.
Yeah.
As seed trees, they call it.
Seed tree.
Mm.
Huh. Well, that's good. Custom.
So that's how the world was created.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing?
Not so.
Why haven't you enchanted that puzzle?
I don't know. It's still tricky, but it's 1 hour and 25, and I am trying to do this in under 2 hours, so I guess it's still kind of possible. What do you think?
Oh, what did you say?
Is it possible to do this under 2 hours?
What's the line? Yes, it is. Do it.
Yeah, I guess I could do it. Good idea.
It's weird. Usually you're avoiding something. Now you're avoiding everything.
I feel like I have also tried to do everything a little bit.
It's the same thing, just said differently.
But nothing has worked.
What's going on with the edge?
I really don't know. Like, these must be wrong somehow, somewhere. And yeah, I don't want to think about it. Because these pieces actually go wherever.
Wherever. Whenever.
Yeah. So that's not really nice.
Thomas says increase the jump level to high. Meaning jump, I guess.
Jump! Yeah.
To high, and you can do it in under 2 hours.
Yeah.
Increase the jump.
Yes, that's a good idea. I should. Jump. I started.
Ah. Thomas kind of played a role in the creation of the world. There was the oak thing.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's cool. And we had a squirrel in some story as well.
Yes. When the oak began to block out the sun, Väinämöinen wondered how to chop it down.
Oh no.
Yes.
Well.
You're in danger being felled by a demigod.
Sorry. But it's a really cool name. I don't think we have that many oaks here, do we?
Not really. There's always been some, so maybe that's why they're like, oh, that must be special.
Yeah, yeah. This is a sacred tree.
Increase the jump.
Yeah.
Become the jump.
Jump.
Yes, that's the first jump I've heard. What are you doing if you're not jumping?
True.
You're just listening how the world is created and not jumping at all.
Jump.
Mm.
Jump. Yeah,
You need jump encouragement. Mm. Yes. Now you are over jumping.
Good that you reminded me about the jump.
Yeah. The magical jump.
So thank you, Thomas. This doesn't go here, it goes here.
Where does it go?
I found the place.
No, no, no. So in that last story we lost the content. Maybe I should read the thing how we get it back.
Yep.
The birchwood kantele. Väinämöinen's fishbone kantele, made from the jawbone of a giant pike, had sunk into the waves while the battle for the Sampo was raging. Yet Väinämöinen wanted to search for his lost instrument, even though it was now in the watery home of Vellamo, the wife of the Sea King. Would you hammer me an iron rake, Ilmarinen? Väinämöinen asked, and the smith forged him a copper-handled rake that had a tines 100 fathoms long. Väinämöinen stepped into his boat and launched it with magic. With no rowers and not a single pair of oars, he raked the waves and the shore of the shoals, but he did not catch his lost pike-bone kantele. Feeling dejected, he returned home. One day, while walking in the meadow, Väinämöinen heard a birch tree weeping. "Why are you crying, beauteous birch?" he asked. "You are growing in peace. You will not be used for warfare or battles." "Oh, I am a poor wretched tree. Hard luck and misfortune are my lot. My leafy branches will be made into sauna whisks, and children will slit open my belly for sap. Shepherds will peel off my bark to make drinking vessels, sheaths for their knives and berry baskets." That's one very depressed and negative birch.
Yeah.
"Men will sharpen their axes and will cut down, and I will be cut down and burnt to clear land for pasture, or I will become wood for the sauna stove. In the winter I will shiver, naked in the freezing weather. How unhappy I am."
Oh, poor birch.
Yes. Väinämöinen comforted the tree. "Soon you will weep for joy, my little birch, because you shall have eternal happiness." He had decided to make a new kantele out of the birch tree. So you wanna die?
Yeah, exactly.
I will grant you sweet release.
I wonder if she was really happy with that. And did he ask permission? I hope he...
Väinämöinen does not ask for permission, for he does not have to. All that long summer's day, Väinämöinen carved the birch on a headland upon the shore of a misty island. He made the sound box out of birch and the pegs from gold and silver. He used a maiden's hair for the strings. At last the birchwood kantele was finished. Väinämöinen sat on a rock slab. lowered the instrument upon his knees and tuned it, and then he set his fingers to dance upon the strings. He strummed the kantele, and the gold and silver sang out happily, and the maidens' dresses rejoiced. Mountains danced and rocks leaped. Old pines awoke to merrymaking, and tree stumps hopped merrily on the moors. Young women interrupted their chores and hurried, laughing to listen to Väinämöinen's playing. Everyone stopped to marvel at his new source of joy. Men with their hats in hand, old women with their hands on their cheeks, girls with moist eyes, and boys upon their knees. The music was heard in 6 villages. The animals of the forest crouched down to listen to the kantele and wondered at the merriment. Even foxes crept out of their dens. Birds flew down from the sky, fish swam to the shore, and worms crawled out of the soil. When Väinämöinen played indoors, in cabins and taverns, the rafters rang, the ceilings sang, the doors resounded and the windows shook. When he walked and played in the forest, the spruce and pine trees bowed to him. For the whole days, Väinämöinen played and all of Kalevala rejoiced.
I really love those depictions of how wonderful the playing was and how everyone became so happy, and yeah, just find it so inspiring. Like, I feel happier when I hear that. Does anyone play any instrument? I think it's really fun.
Time will pass, the days will go, others will come, Väinämöinen said nobly. One day I will be needed again, to bring a new Sampo to my people, to make new music, to liberate a new sun. Ancient Väinämöinen, the great hero and shaman, sailed in his boat of copper to where the world ends, where no living being should go. Perhaps he would return when he was most needed, but until then, Väinämöinen left behind his kantele, his music, and his epic tales for all the children of Kalevala, now and forever.
Yeah, he left. Oh no.
Oh, Thomas plays an instrument.
What do you play, Thomas?
Oh. Hula ba, hula ba.
Hula boo.
You easily do it in 2 hours.
I think so too.
You have started chopping.
Yeah, pretty much. Unless when I don't.
Well, I'm guessing that ends either in or a. Or is that a thing?
Bass and tenor. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, wow. Yeah, those are so wonderful instruments. So great. It's wonderful. I'm so envious because you can play pretty much anything with those, because I play only instruments that have some kind of what is it? Scales, yeah. So, for example, tin whistle.
Woodwinds.
Yeah. So I can play only indie.
Ah, really? More like a cello with a 6 string.
Mm-hmm. But I guess you can play in any key.
Mm.
So that's so great. So great.
I'm trying to not tune, time this epilogue somehow when you are finishing. Viola da gamba. I have no idea what that is. You should know.
Yeah, I think it's like a historical instrument.
That's more in your area.
Yeah. Do you play in some old music ensemble, like, I don't know, Renaissance music maybe, or Baroque, or something? What kind of music do you play?
That's much more straightforward way of asking.
Yeah.
You went Kalevala then. Said it many times in different ways.
What?
You went all Kalevala there. Said it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that I'm in the mood of saying things many times in different ways. It's so short.
Yeah.
Don't do it yet.
Yes, that's why I'm not doing it now.
Oh dear.
Mainly music from 1550 and
So cool. 1550 to 1720. That's lovely. So lovely. I do historical dancing, and we dances from 1600s, 17th century. Yeah, it's really fun. Like Brunley. Yeah, cannot remember anything right now, of course.
Run, plague hopping.
Lake hopping.
Yes, I'm guessing that's one of the dances.
Yep. Yeah, I really love those old things. All kinds of old things.
You have a lot of minutes. I shouldn't not have said that. I should have said that you have 5 minutes.
Yeah, true.
Now you're gonna use every minute when you know.
Every single minute, yes.
I love that there's like in this glossary here there's instructions how to pronounce these names here.
That's great.
It's always weird when this Kalevala thing, they always instruct to pronounce it with kahlech vahla, which is weird.
It is quite weird.
They added like 3 H's. You must jump.
Yeah. I think I am. I have the whole this part ready.
Yes. You must jump, for Väinämöinen is growing weary. Maybe we should do it like when I start reciting this, you have to finish before I. Well, not yet, but.
I'm already getting panicked.
Yes, that's the goal. Everyone loves a panicky Vesna.
Right. But there's that problem of that itch.
There's no problem.
What?
No problem.
Right.
I'm gonna fix the edge.
Yeah. I guess I have to.
And then I'll start.
No. What else? It cannot be anything else than this. This is madness.
Ooh, looks quite good. Thomas says we play a lot of dance music.
Oh.
And things you probably know what are.
Yes. Pavan Kurant Saravan. Yeah, I do know, but I don't think we dance those ourselves. And also, if those are like classical music, I don't know if those were really danced at that time. Because I think some of those might have been kind of inspired by that dance music.
Do you play Darude?
What?
I'm asking, do they play Darude?
Darude.
The ancient theme.
Yeah.
I shall start.
But yeah, sorry. Yeah. So I have heard about those dances, but I have never danced those dances, and that's so weird because I have done so many historical dance lessons. So yeah, but it could be that those are like more challenging dances, kind of like ballet. So maybe that's why I haven't danced those at all. So yeah, that might be the reason. Yeah, okay, now you can start.
You're cheating, you put many pieces there.
Haha.
Now I end my measured singing.
Oh my gosh.
Bid my weary tongue keep silence. Leave my songs to other singers. Horses have their time of resting.
No!
After many hours of labor, even sickles will grow weary, and they have been long at reaping. Waters seek quiet haven, after running long in rivers. Fire subsides and sinks in slumber at the dawning of the morning. Therefore I should end my singing, as my song is growing weary.
Don't end it yet.
For the pleasure of the evening, for the joy of morning arising. Sorry.
Yeah.
It was really close.
No. This might be.
Väinämöinen won again.
Yes, he is the king or something. Because yeah, this is the only piece that has duck feet. These are all the same shape. This is madness, especially with these puzzles.
Vellamo, maiden of the sea, has betrayed you.
That is very true. Because these Peliko puzzles have quite usually false feet.
Very false feet.
Yeah, at least these older ones. I don't know. I heard they have changed something
Oh. It would be great if they would be good.
Yeah, it would be so awesome. Like high quality Moomin puzzles and...
You can do it before 150. If you do things. Dun, 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 dun. Maybe other people should see this too.
Yeah.
You have 30 seconds.
Oh my god.
You wait.
Okay.
Put things in things.
I don't think it goes there.
Oh no.
Yes, there.
Do things. You have 10 seconds.
No, I
It
won't
takes a
do
second apiece.
anything. What?
It takes a second apiece.
No. Yes.
Oh no.
I failed.
I am the sea monster.
No.
I am the tickly sea monster.
No. Iku tursa.
Yes.
This is possible.
Wait. You have 2 pieces.
That is very true, and I believe that something is in wrong place because...
It's a puzzle in a puzzle.
Yeah. This is madness.
Patricia likes the image.
Yeah, the image is nice. The quality is not. Well, this is embarrassing. So maybe this cannot be completed.
Oh.
But I don't think it goes there. God.
You might actually spend those 8 minutes doing that. Those 3 pieces. That must be some kind of record.
Yeah. Oh no.
I cannot help you. For I am puzzle dumb.
I believe that this is fraud. Okay, now I have quite a good feeling about this. Does this fit? Yes, it does!
It was a puzzle.
I did it! Amazing! I did it! Woohoo!
You have now aided Väinämöinen.
Yeah. So let's look at the image from this book. So yeah, this image is from The Canine Kalevala by Mauri Kunnas, and this is a nice book, but the author has changed many things, turned them around. I think this might be the sea monster.
It seems to be a sea pig.
Yeah. Yep. So there's Väinämöinen. Yeah, because in Kalevala this was actually the other way around. So it was
It's funnier that way.
Yeah, Väinämöinen who was doing that. But yeah, maybe it's better in a children's book that it's this way. But there are also some other changes. So if you read this book, you might get a bit confused, like how did things really go? Although I haven't read this in a while, so maybe this is better when I remember. Oh, there's the sea monster. It looks like a cat with some tentacles.
Mm.
Oh yeah, there's this storm too, and I think this is Ahti, the sea god, and there he gets the fishbone kantele, and he is so very happy.
Mm.
And Louhi is so very mad that she lost the sambo. And somebody is seasick there,
Oh.
throwing up. Maybe it was Ilmarinen. But yeah, this is the puzzle that I just did. And I just think it was so difficult. Like, there are so many similar things. At first, I tried to do the edges. It went quite fine, actually. Except for those few pieces there that just didn't fit. Then I think I tried to put together this sampo here, because it's all golden pieces, kind of, but I guess I just didn't find all the pieces, and that's why it didn't work. Then I tried to do the wings for Louhi, the witch, but that was just so many pieces, and I was so very overwhelmed. Didn't work. And yeah, I don't remember what I guess I just tried all kinds of things. I think this was maybe these white bits were really good places to start. And this ship here.
While you were despairing, I was just reading poetry.
That's great.
And that's like...
Oh yeah, right, because this image is kind of inspired by this image, which is made by Akseli Galleen Kallela, and he is a very famous Finnish painter from that period.
What that period? What's that period?
I don't remember. But some kind of, yeah. Oh my god. Say here. Maybe not. But anyway. So, Väinämöinen is here, and here he is there.
Here he is there.
Yeah, so here he has this really cool sword, but here he has a oar, yeah. And there is Louhi, the witch. She looks very unhuman with those claws and yeah. And here she basically only has the wings. She's still the same wolf. She only has the wings. Yeah, I think this painting used to trouble me a lot when I was a kid.
It is quite creepy.
It is quite creepy.
And that's why it's good.
Yeah. I was worried about these spears here pointing up.
Worried?
Yeah, like what if they stab with those?
That's the point of the spears.
I didn't like the thought.
They are made for pointing.
But yeah. It was fun. But I really have to try to get it done fast. Maybe not. Maybe next year. But yeah, tomorrow I will have another puzzle event. So I getting my puzzles to the main library, and then people can do those puzzles. I will take many 500 piece on the live stream. Okay. But yeah, so I will have a fun day tomorrow in that puzzle event. What?
I'm waiting for that to work. Yes?
Oh, it doesn't work.
It does.
Ah.
Say your things.
But our next live stream will be on Wednesday. Because we have all sorts of stuff on this weekend. So, yeah. See you on Wednesday. I think I had some kind of an idea, but I don't remember. Yeah. So next live stream will be on Wednesday. We hope to see you then, and we wish you very wonderful weekend. We hope you enjoy your life and do lots of puzzles. Was that good?
Yes.
Yay.
Everything in the world has now been said.
Yay. Yay. Thank you, and thank you for being here with us, and yeah.
And being with our annoying internet.
Yeah, the internet was especially annoying today. I'm so sorry. But yes, thank you for watching, and have a very wonderful, lovely weekend. See you on Wednesday. Bye bye.
Be wary of witches.
Yeah.